Lil Wayne vs. 2 Chainz. Chainz and Wayne had been close friends for the entirety of their time together in this game, which is full of betrayers and shifting allegiances. When he was just 9 years old, Lil Wayne inked a recording contract with Cash Money Records. While most children his age were in middle school and fantasized about becoming the next Soulja Slim or Master P, Wayne was living out his passion of becoming a rapper. Yet his climb was a gradual one. Wayne had to begin his career when he was 9 years old for it to explode when he was 24 years old. The importance of relationships to Wayne's success dates back to the beginning of his career. He entered the rap game as part of a collective and never lost his enthusiasm to work with other people. He has more artists signed to him than the New Orleans Saints have players. Features were done in bulk for him, and rappers orbit him like the Earth orbits the Sun. When Wayne collaborates with another rapper and the two hit it off, it typically results in an enormous volume of music and, sometimes, the promise of an album. It occurred with Jewels. It occurred with T-Pain. It occurred with Drake. Therefore, it comes as a surprise that Wayne and Birdman released a collaborative album. When 2 Chainz first dropped hints that he and Weezy would be collaborating on a project a few years ago, it was easy to believe that the album would be placed on the shelf between Detox and I Can't Feel My Face. But as time has passed, it has become clear that this is not the case. Just another legend for you to swoon over. Awaiting the unavoidable interference from the record company, which would set the release date for the project back to January 32nd. Cash Money is not going to allow their imprisoned songbird to sing for anyone other than themselves while the Carter V is present in the courtroom. But to my astonishment, it did not turn out to be the case. Finally, the promise of an album recorded in partnership with Wayne was delivered. Well, if you ask the label, it's a 2 Chainz album that has Lil Wayne on a bunch of songs, and it's not a Lil Wayne album. This is the kind of legal loophole that exploits the logic of a third grader, which is somewhere between absurd and brilliant. Companions in crime for the better part of a decade. The names of the neighborhoods, College Park and Hollygrove, in which each of the rappers was raised are included in the name of the group. It's 2 Chainz's face, but it's covered with Wayne's tattoos and piercings, so the album cover perfectly captures Wayne's presence on the album. All of his distinctive facial traits, except one that is consistent over the entirety of his record. Despite what the record label may assert, there is no way around the fact that they are both responsible for this album. It's noteworthy to note that, except 100 joints, all of the tracks on the album that do not feature Lil Wayne were taken from previously released mixtapes. Alterations are done to better match their justification. The song Dedication serves as the album's introduction and is both a tribute to Wayne and a history of their friendship, which began before the year 2003. Both Wayne nor 2 Chainz did not begin their careers in the music industry as solo artists. In 1997, he and his longtime friend Dollar Boy launched a music project under the name Playaz Circle. You can also find them on DTP's collection titled Golden Grain, in addition to a few other Luda records that were released around the same time. The two separately released United We Stand and United We Fall in the year 2002. Because of a string of unlucky circumstances, the duo decided that they would have to put a larger project on hold until 2007. The song Duffel Bag Boys, which features Lil Wayne, is the one that catapults them into the public eye and puts them in the spotlight. At the time, Wayne was known as the Executioner, the rapper you summoned to bury beats. He made hits like an assassin, even though he was not an artist that you would consider to be a hitmaker. When you saw featured Lil Wayne, you probably imagined some kind of bloodbath, but Duffel Bag Boys surprised you because Wayne simply sang on the hook of the song. That was an unusual move, but it paid off because the song became quite popular both on the radio and in the streets. The kind of unavoidable anthem that every person is familiar with. Titty Boy told MTV that the shout, "Out from where you at," was what inspired him to take the song to Wayne, and that it was not the fact that Wayne was popular at the time that led to the collaboration. He sought a feature from the artist who had used him in a song when he was no one and had no reputation. The mystique that surrounded Wayne and Chainz was contagious, and other musicians aspired to achieve the same level of success as the duo. Both were snatched up by David Banner for Yao Ming, Shad Moss. Lil Bow Swizz Beatz probably thought he had a major hit on his hands when he got Nicki and Ross to join Wayne and Chainz on Hands Up. Wow tried to group himself with the duo on 2011's I'm a Stunt, French Montana attached himself and Rick Ross to the Kobe and Shaq of rap with marble floors, and Wow tried to group himself with the duo on 2011's I'm a Stunt. Juicy J is the only artist who can claim to have received a truly successful album from the duo. Bands Can Make Her Dance is the song that catapulted Juicy J's career to the next level. The collaboration between Wayne and 2 Chainz was seamless, and the song features an abundance of memorable lines that will ensure its continued relevance over the next decade. He's still cranking out smash records, but the consequences of those records are more like aftershocks than earthquakes. Wayne isn't the monster he once was, and Chainz has toned it down a touch since the days of Riot and Spend It. He's still churning out hit albums, though. Khaligrove certainly would have made more of an impression a few years earlier. The difference between East Coast and Southern rappers, according to Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz. Immediately following their performance at Khaligrove, Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz gave an interview to Genius in which they discussed the similarities and differences between East Coast and Southern rap artists. Lil Wayne was quoted as saying that Southern artists spoke more about the struggle and the streets, whilst East Coast rappers would focus more on wordplay. You almost don't want to hear wordplay if you're from the South. You genuinely just want to hear what you're talking about. If you're from the South, you almost don't want to hear what you're talking about. Wheezy continued by saying that when he was a youngster and first starting, all he had was his wordplay and flow to rap about because he had not yet had any experiences on the street to rhyme about. He attributes a significant portion of his style to Juvenile, going so far as to add that he was cautioned against rapping like Turk, who primarily spoke about drugs and project life. He credits Juveniles as being a major influence on his style. "Shout out to my big brother Juvie for that," Wayne remarked, "because without him they probably wouldn't be none of that. He was one of the most important guys who encouraged me to continue rapping in that style." Wayne did not minimize the challenges that East Coast rappers faced during that time. He mentioned how wordplay and lyricism were becoming more prominent in today's music. According to what Wayne said, "Our reality is different in the South, then again in the North, and finally on the East Coast. I'm not saying that they don't live in the hood, but I am saying that rap, hip-hop, and music are their reality. It's the place where hip-hop got its start." 2 Chainz discussed Wayne's status as a rapper from the South who was also concerned with the lyrical content of hip-hop. "How did you like the video? Do you like it? Leave your valuable comments in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube.